family for, yeah, I guess. Some of our kids hang out all the time.
Yeah.
All right, well, hello and welcome. This is going to be my first teaching in-person class, so you guys get to join me on my adventure and my learning. We're going to do some mostly easy breathing today and a few poses, little tricks in the trade. So, right, we'll just get right into it. And if everybody wants to turn on your sides, long mat, grab behind your knees, and then go into a seat and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, stretching out your back. And come into an easy position. And then we're just going to start with a little warm up for the hips and the backs. Bring your legs up one at a time. Once again, cross your hands behind your legs. And then let your feet come down and we'll pulse. And now we can start going side to side. And now start doing some circles. Okay, soften the circles, bring your legs in tight again. And lift up your feet. And now a trick, we're going to switch the grip of our hand. So most of us probably have a right hand on top. We're going to switch and put the left grip hand on top for the grip. Bring your legs back down and start doing some circles the opposite direction. And then bring it side to side. Can think of engaging and pulling your elbows out away from your body to get a nice stretch and engage your shoulders. Then we'll finish off with some little pulsing again. Then release and let your feet come down one at a time, very gently. All right. So another little trick we're just going to get used to, and we're going to use this a couple times, is the difference between imprinting and arching your back. So we're going to experiment and just bring a big arch into your back, and then roll back until you're pushing your back into the ground. And roll back and forth a couple of times just to get used to that movement, learn your range, learn your habits, and then come to a nice neutral pelvis where you're either jamming into the ground or pushing your ribs out too high. Now we're going to do three-part breathing, and we're going to start off with some big belly breaths. So if you want, you can just bring your hands and lay them gently on your belly. And then we're going to take a big breath in, like let your belly go like nobody's looking. Nice exhale, squeeze your abs a little bit. Now I'm going to hold space to do a count of 10 breaths. You don't have to follow me exactly, but we're just going to try to keep that space because it's easy to get distracted. Big exhale. In 1. Out 1. In 2. Out 2. Feel your belly coming up into your hands. In 3. Out 3. In 4. Out 4. habits. Are you imprinting? Are you arching? Are you able to hold your neutral pelvis? In 5. Out 5. In 6. Out 6. In 7. Out 7. In 8. Out 8. All right, do the last 2 breaths on your own count. All right, now you can just let your hands go, relax, normal breath, palms up. If you want, we can do another little imprint arch, or even wiggle your hips a little bit to release them. Alright, so just for a second, everybody can sit up and watch. The second part is going to be, we're going to breathe up into our ribs. And so to do that, we want to really engage Mula Bandha, belly lock. So I imagine I'm going to do a sit up, pull it tight, exhale, and then loosen off. We don't need to hold it super tight. So 30-40% of your strength. And kind of imagine that you're pulling your stomach up and your belly button down. It's a little tricky. Think about it. It might just be in your imagination. Or you can actually use your fingers a little bit to help bring some sense to that area. Alright, so everybody go ahead and lay back again. Big exhale, pull your belly in. Let it go. Hold about 30-40% of your strength. Maybe touch your belly and your stomach and your belly button, pull them apart. So now we're going to put our hands on our ribs. Breathe up into your ribs. Is everybody getting it? Is everybody feeling the expansion into the breath into your ribs?
Expanding your rib cage.
Yes.
Just expanding your rib cage?
We're breathing up into the ribs, right?
Yeah,
So
so
by
filling
you
up
want to
your-
hold your belly in and bring your breath up into your ribs.
And pelvis and neutral?
Pelvis is still in neutral, so if you're gripping too hard, you'll probably go into an imprint. So try to keep your hips neutral. Take a couple of deeper breaths. Big exhale, and we're going to start the count. In 1. Out 1. In 2. Out 2. In 3. Out 3. In 4. In 5. Out 5. We still have the gentle belly lock. Are we still in neutral pelvis? In 6. Out 6. In 7. Out 7. In 8. Out 8. Once again, take 2 more breaths at your own pace. Once again, let your hands go and just return to a normal breath. Palms up. Let your arms go a bit wide. Relax your shoulders. We got some room. And once again, do a few imprint and arch. Wiggle your hips to release them. Now we're going to go into the third part of the breath, which is bringing breath up into our chest. So we're going to once again engage the belly lock. And then we're going to imagine that we just worked at opening up those rib muscles. Now we want to engage those rib muscles. Imagine that you can pull the tops of your ribs down to the bottom of your pelvis. And then breathe up big into your chest. Once again, it can be helpful to put your hands on your chest to feel your breath. But remember, are you in a neutral rotation with your hips? Alright, has everybody got the sensation of breathing up into their chest? Alright, we'll do a big exhale and then we'll start the count. In 1. Out 1. In 2. Out 2. In 3. Out 3. In 4. Out 4. In 5. Out 5. Your hips still neutral, still got light engagement through the abs. In 6. Out 6. In 7. Out 7. In 8. finish the last 2 breaths on your own time. Alright, let your hands go, palms up, relax, take some regular breaths. Alright, once again, roll your hips a couple times, lift them up, give them a little wiggle. Okay, and now for the last part of 3-part breath, it's putting all 3 of them together into one great big breath. Right, maintaining space for full 40 count. Well, we're gonna do not now, but having done 30, and we're gonna do 10 more. So a full 40 count of breathing. So you can keep your arms laying at your side to relax. Let your shoulders out. Let your arms wide. Once again, big exhale. One in. One out. Let your belly fall as you exhale. 2 in. 2 out. Three in. 3 out. Four in. 4 out. Five in. 5 out. Six in. 6 out. 7 in. 7 out. 8 in. 8 out. 9 in. 9 out. Last one. 10 in. 10 out. Just let that settle in with some regular easy breaths. Alright, we can get ready to move. Roll off to our side. Push yourselves up into seating. on some loosening up some ribs and stuff. How did everybody feel about some long counted breathing?
Awesome. Good.
Alright, so the next pose we're going to do, pretty easy. We're going to get into a child's pose. But before that, we're just going to loosen up a bit, do a few cat-cow, and just point out a few tips and tricks for doing it. So please come over on your knees. So child's pose, these things we're actually preparing to do downward dog. So part of the thing is learning to really engage our hands and our arms. So the first thing is we want to make sure that we're getting the knuckle of our index finger down, that our hands and that our index fingers are pointing straight forward with the sides of the mat, and then spread your hands out away from that index joint going down. Aaron, can you straighten out your thumbs too? There we go. So we're pushing it. Now the second trick is with our arms. We want to imagine that we can take our upper arm bones and roll them out. And then to engage the tension and to keep our hands strong, we want to imagine that we're rolling our forearms in. Everybody kind of getting a sense of that? Mm-hmm. Alright, so we'll be up on our toes for now. And we're going to do cat-cow. So it's the arch and imprint again. Breathe in and go into an imprint. Exhale into the big arch. Just in and out.
Anyone else hear their spine crunching?
That's good.
You're all younger than me.
Alright, loosen that up a bit. Now another trick we're going to do is we're going to, when we go into child's pose, is working on engaging our feet a bit. So we're going to flip our feet over again. So the top of your foot is down, and then drag your feet up. And just go back and forth a couple of times, waking up your toes. Try to push all your toes into the mat as you're doing it. Alright, so we're going to try to remember some of these movements as we go into child's pose. So once again, you can put your feet flat, toes together, or big toe joints together, knees wide as your mat. And then we're going to just sit back. And can you get your bum on the top of your feet, on your joints? If not, you can grab a bolster and sit so that you're making contact.
Touching?
Yes, yeah. So if you're not quite getting in there, go ahead and just, you can sit on a bolster.
Like one of these guys?
Yeah.
Or block?
Just show you. Now, once again, imagine we want to engage our arms. That same engagement that we were learning when we were doing the cat-cow. You want to push your index knuckle joints down. You want to roll your upper arm out, your forearm in. Really push back into your seat. Make this an active pose. Now remember what we were doing with our feet. We want to imagine that we're engaging those same muscles, and pushing our feet down into the mat, the tops of our feet. And now the last, Rachel, let your ankle, you just imagine, there you go. You're not actually lifting them, you're just engaging those muscles. Right, and then the last part of it is we want to get that arch, like we're in the cat pose. So lift your back up off of your thighs.
Can you speak a bit to what the elbows are supposed to be doing?
So we want, right, elbow engagement. Good question. Dun, dun, dun. As you're pushing back into it, you want to have your elbows engaged and lifted up off the ground. Alright, everybody's got their knuckle joints down. How you feeling there, Ann? Good, alright. So now we're all settled into this, we're gonna do 3 big belly breaths, like we had been doing at the end of the 3-part breathing. Sorry, 3 full breaths, and so the whole body, lifting up our back. Alright, now pushing into your arms, walk your hands back into a seated position. Alright, everybody feel like they're understanding the different engagements that we were working on there? And go over it one more time, maybe, and go back into the pose for a second one. How's everybody feeling? How's your
Yeah, it's a
Feel
little
it
hard on the
across-
ankle. It's hard on the ankles, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Were
Gosh, the
you
ankles too.
what's that?
My ankles are bad as well.
Right. So
But I mean,
and once again, where you know, like I say, the idea that you're pushing and engaging those same muscles that you would use to lift your ankles up is a way to stretch them and protect them while you're doing it.
So you're pushing into the floor.
Floor, yeah.
Top, like with up here.
Yeah, so the tops, and get your toes engaged, all that.
I have a question. I
Yes.
was feeling a lot of like engagement in my like upper arms.
Yeah.
Shoulders. Is that just because that's what it means to be engaged in child's pose?
A lot of people would take it as a rest pose. We're doing mostly breathing, so this is like actually kind of our active pose in this class today. So yeah, you want to maintain the engagement in your arms and upper body, because eventually, right, you want to be able to maintain that and easily come up into a downward dog without really changing your shoulders and your arms much. So in that way, we're kind of training towards doing that pose.
Cool.
So anyway, we'll just go through it again real quick. We'll start off on all fours, and then once again get the engagement through the index finger. Imagine that your upper arm is rolling out, and that your inner arm is rolling in. You got your shoulders or your elbows engaged, but you're not sickling them in. And then we'll do, all right, toes tucked. We'll do a couple of cat-cow. Exhale, arch. Breathe in, let your belly hang. Alright, bring your spine to neutral, and we'll do a couple of the ankle lifts. Alright, then we'll bring our big toes together, knees as wide as the mat. Once again, engage all those muscles in your arms that we've been talking about, and push back into your seat. Let your head come down. Imagine you're doing the kitty arch. Imagine that you're lifting up your ankles, engaging those muscles. And then big 3-part breaths. so for a couple of us that want Dano, Cat, Rachel, we can pop up into, you can stay in the pose there, so the rest of you can go into dog pose. You can just stay in there. And when you come up, try to imagine that you flip from here, that you're not really going to change your shoulders as you lift into the dog.
So we need to adjust our knees and
Right.
ankles first. I
Yes.
don't think I can come straight out of that child pose into dog, right?
Right. Sorry. Bring your knees together, your ankles, and come up on your toes. Okay, without changing, try to come up into a dog. No worries, it's all part of the world today. Rachel, can you bring your shoulder? Yeah, good. Just forward, shoulders back. Alright. Back more. Can you engage your arms? Push in here. And now bring this back even more. Right. Drop in here. Yeah, yeah. There you go.
I'm just feeling this a lot in my wrist.
Okay, if you're feeling in your wrists, come on down. Then if you're feeling in your wrists, you need to work at just that basic, like, even, yeah, come on down, Cheryl, please, if you're feeling in your wrists. All right, so when you start feeling that in your wrists, what you want to consider is you can even just work right here, right, and just push, 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 until you learn to move the weight into your knuckles and use the muscles in your arm so that you're not stressing your wrist out.
So you're like pressing down like through your these parts. Oh, through
This
part.
one, all right. Make sure that's down, that's down. Right, now, there you go. Oh, right, yeah, nice there. And can you just come down for a second? Oh, shorten up your stance, or bring your arms in a little closer.
Hold for a while. It's hard to hold for a while.
Yeah, right, yeah, come down, breast, like I said,
Yeah.
Cheryl, please, like, I think for you, you should probably just be working right here.
Yeah.
And just push, 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 so that you're really pushing into these ones and learning to engage the shoulders. How are your wrists?
Yeah,
Mm,
feeling
alright.
it.
You're feeling it. Alright, well, yeah, and if you want to come up again one more time. Alright, now can you push, push, push here and come down? Yeah, let this part come down. Good. Then so you're closer to a plank. Can you bring your whole shoulders back? There you go, very nice. Alright, well, there we got some time to work to that, so we can come on down again. Alright, so I think we're going to do one more breathing exercise, and then we'll do the Shavasana, our ending pose. So once again, roll around, we can come onto our backs. Grab behind your knees, roll down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. You can bring your arms out by your side. And this time we're going to do rhythmic breathing. So the idea is we're going to breathe in for 6, hold for 3, exhale for 6, hold for 3 again, and then we'll start over. So I'll count it out, and with this one maybe just don't necessarily take your biggest or deepest breath, but just try to keep it in rhythm with everybody else. So I'll start off. In 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let it go. Breathe naturally. Alright, and then we'll finish with Shavasana, so just let your legs slide out in front of you. And let your arms go wide, palms up. Close your eyes and just integrate in the class that we've had. Alright, slowly starting to wake the body up. Let's take some deeper breaths. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your arms up and stretch the shoulders. And then pull your knees up, roll off to the side again, and bring yourself into a seated position. Alright, well, thank you everyone for coming to my first class, and gratitude to all the teachers, friends, and family that have brought me to this point. We'll finish with an Om together. Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
All right. Well,